isolation valve there, and there's one there and another one there. But this one, as you can see, is the old lath and plaster. So it's literally that one done, and this one's next. We're replacing this cast iron sewer pipe, so we're going to cut all of this out, cut it right down low, put an adapter on the bottom. I will check with the customer, see if they want to keep this absolutely lovely surround. And again, it's something about this job. The other bathroom had random like pig tiles, just got little ducts. It was only really crap where it was tiled. And we've got a bit of a mixture. We've got an isolation valve, then a plastic elbow that fed the old tower house. So let me take you down and show you the trick for laying out one of these freestanding baths. So, as you'll have seen probably in the previous video or a couple of videos back, depending on my timeline of when I'm getting videos out, this bathroom has just been completed. So, the deal was as soon as this one was done, we're just going to literally walk down the hallway like so and begin ripping this one out and doing exactly the same with this one. So what we're going to have in here is a big freestanding bath here. That's going to look really nice with floor standing taps. The toilet's being moved onto this wall here. The towel rail is going on here, different one to that obviously. And the basin is being moved from there onto this wall there with a mirror, etc, etc. So yeah, it's all go. So it's literally that one done, and this one's next. And then also what we've got to do while doing that bathroom, which is there, we're replacing this cast iron sewer pipe. So we're going to cut all of this out, cut it right down low, put an adapter on the bottom, and then work off from that with black sewer pipe. But obviously where the branch is going to go, we're going to have to go through the wall to the new position for the toilet. It may run directly where that is, so we've got to be a little bit of chopping around and stuff like that to do. But we're also going to get rid of that hopper and downpipe because that goes into this gully here. We're going to bring the bath and the basin waste into the sewer pipe. This downpipe here is going to terminate the other side of the roof, so that'll be out, and it just tidying up this whole sort of area as well. And then this pipe here is from the downstairs cloakroom, so we may run that across into the new stack. We'll see. But yeah, that's also coming out as well. So we're going to start by just taking the fittings out, taking all of this out, but there's some random isolation valve. There's an isolation valve there, and there's one there and another one there. So hopefully we can just isolate the feeds going that way, get this out, get that out, get all the way around without turning the whole water off into the property until we come to get the toilet out. So today's job on day one is I want to get it completely cleared out, tiles off, floor up, towel rail out, or at least off, and shut it off on the valves. I will check with the customer, see if they want to keep this absolutely lovely surround around the window. Got to love a nice curtain surround. And again, it's something about this job. The other bathroom had random like pig tiles, it's got little ducts. Right, we're getting there with a rip out. Let me take you in and show you. We've got all the suite out. Now, we took the tiles off halfway around, and these walls are solid, outside walls. But this one, as you can see, is the old lath and plaster. Now, it was only really crap where it was tiled. After that, once we get the wallpaper off, it's not too bad. So what I'm going to do is speak to my plasterer and just see whether he's going to board the bottom of it and then re-skim over the whole lot, or we're going to take it all down and just board that whole wall. I'll speak to him and see, but yeah, it's just something like that. It wasn't in the price, but I've just made the customer aware, and that's what you've got to do. Is just along the way, if there's little extras like that, just let the customer know, and it just saves a lot of hassle at the end. So I'm absolutely covered in plaster dust after ripping all of that lath and plaster out. I'm going to go home and get showered in that because I feel absolutely mean after ripping all of that lot up, and you all know what it's like when you just want to get on and get a bathroom out. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is get the skirting off, get everything cleaned out, get this bath out, and then begin to start getting the floors up, getting pipework in place. We've got, as I said, a basin going there, toilet going there, so we've got to start jigging some stuff around. Another skip's come in to replace that one. So it can also rip that stack down outside. And yeah, and make a bit of progress on this one. But yeah, it's getting there. I like to always, when I first start ripping out, I like to just hit it as hard as I can, get the floor up, get everything out, and then you know where you're at really, start with a blank canvas. So first things first that we've got to set out and plan in this bathroom is they're having a freestanding bath that's going here. But what we're going to do is have some freestanding taps. They're going to be sitting up around here. We're going to have to work out exactly where they're going to run because they've got two big shrouds coming up, so we may have to notch part of that joist out. I'm sure the notch joist police will be on at me as per usual, but it's got to go in between the middle of the window because that's where the customer wants it, so we've got to make that happen. So let me take you down and show you the trick for laying out one of these freestanding baths. So this is the bath that's going in, and as you can see, we don't really want to be lugging it around upstairs in the dirt and the way that bathroom is at the moment. So what we do is lay a sheet of cardboard on the top here. I've already done it, but you lay a sheet of cardboard on the top here, mark round the bath so you get the top external bit, because a lot of these baths sometimes they taper in at the bottom. So go round the top and you can work out exactly the dimensions of the bath, and then take that upstairs and offer it into position. So there we go. There is the top dimensions of that bath. So you can just drop it into position like so, and that will give you the outside of the top edge of the bath. As I said, the bottom will taper in slightly, but now we can work out exactly where they want it. Obviously that's the centre line to there, but it's just more obviously that way because the window isn't central to the room. And the toilet's going to go here, as I've said, and basin there. Right, so we've mocked up, as I said, where that bath's going, and what we did, me and the customer, we put the taps into position. I thought I'd rather get it up here so we can physically see it. So the taps are going here. We're going to have to trim out a tiny little bit out the side of that joist, because if ever you've fitted freestanding taps, you know that you've got to get the pipework in these shrouds, and then the shrouds have to be bolted down, and you need a little bit of movement on the tap to be able to connect there, which is what we need underneath. So we're happy there. That's where the bath's going to go. Now we ordered, or the customer ordered, a 600 basin. We've offered it into place, but we just think if you stand here, we just think that being a 600 is just a little bit overpowering, and it's taking your eye off the wow factor of the freestanding bath. So what we're going to do, we're going to reduce the size of the basin from 600 down to a 500. It's not a problem, it's just because we don't want that devouring all the attention when you walk in. And these are the little bits that when you're doing a bathroom for someone, they appreciate the feedback, and yeah, we can switch that. If we do that now, you know, they're spending a lot of money on a bathroom and they look forward to it and they want it right. So, you know, as a bathroom fitter, you want to give a little bit of guidance as well of what's going to work and what isn't. So we're switching that out. It's not a problem. We can still get everything piped up ready. But now we've sort of locked down positions and where everything is going to go, which we knew from the start, but them little tweaks while you're on the job. So we can now start getting stuff in. This is the towel rail radiator that's going into here. Got a couple of heating pipes there, so we've just been with the customer making sure where they wanted it. They weren't sure if they wanted it centre of that wall. I sort of advised them to put it a little bit to the right, because the pan's going to go here, and it just means they can have a little bit of storage here. So they've gone for that, so we're going to get the pipework in for that, bung the tanks, etc., and get that done. So we've marked up just here where the pipes are going to run through off the bottom of this towel rail, and what we'll do is obviously bring chrome pipe into the bottom of it. I always put, when I'm putting chrome pipe in, always put it on a compression elbow. Some people will go, what are you putting a compression elbow under the floor for? Stuff like that. It's not a problem, as long as you're confident in your work, confident in fitting it, pasting it up, making sure it's not going to leak. It's not an issue at all. So we'll get these drilled out, get the system bunged and get that in. So I've just got the boards up ready for this rad, took this one up, and we've got a bit of a mixture. We've got an isolation valve, then a plastic elbow that fed the old tower house. So obviously what we'll do, we'll bung the system, we'll get rid of this, come off there, send some pipe work under the floor there, and bring out for the rad. We've also got one this side, so we'll probably end up doing the same with that. So there we go, that's the pipe work in for that Victorian style tower. I didn't bother filming it, and I didn't bother filming bunging the tanks because I'll send a link up into the corner to the previous bathroom that I did that's down the hallway, because I just can't, as I said, I'm conscious of just putting the same stuff on the channel. Right, but that's the first fix pipe work in to this bathroom. Basins here, as I've already said, so I've poked up the hot and cold. We haven't got the wastes in yet, so I'm going to do them Monday. We've got the bath tails in. Now they're 15mm because the fittings won't fit within them tubes for the freestanding bathtubs. It's 22mm under the floor, but we just stabbed off in 15mm. Not going to be a problem at all. And we've also got the cold feed in for the toilet. So Monday we've got to drill through there. I'll take the stack down outside first of all. We've got to drill a new soil pipe into the toilet position, which is going to be here. We've got to run the waste out under the floor outside, and then we've also got to take the waste from the basin along and out. So I'm pretty happy with that. I like to try and get as much in first fix wise as I can pretty quickly, because it just makes the job go a lot better. So 2 days in, stripped out, first fix pipe work in, and we can begin next week getting that soil stack down.